Midco Sports Magazine on Midco Sports Network is presented by Shields.
Welcome back to Midco Sports Magazine. Our next story is on a young woman from North Dakota. She was in the best physical shape of her life, and then she suffered a stroke. And her rehabilitation has obviously been agonizing, but she has gotten some help from a very unlikely source, her favorite professional baseball team. Alex Heinert has her story.
For right or wrong, professional athletes are people we look up to. They're heroes from our past, stars in our present. But sometimes they can be more than a source of entertainment, more than a topic of conversation. Sometimes they can provide hope. And for Jenna Nystrom, that hope has made a world of difference. In the spring of 2014, at 29 years old, Nystrom was in the middle of her 7th year as a producer on the hunting show Wildlife Pursuit. She was a marathoner, a competing bodybuilder, a healthy, active young woman. On Memorial Day weekend, she was with friends in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, about 45 miles east of her hometown of Fargo. The next day, her mother, Liz, would get a phone call.
Do you have a daughter, Jenna Nystrom? I said, yes, I do. She's here at St. Mary's emergency room, and she has had a stroke. He says she's young and she should bounce back from this. And then all I could think of, this is bad. This isn't a little stroke where they say she's going to be okay. No, she's young, she'll bounce back.
A stroke is injury to the brain from lack of blood, and so the brain has become damaged from the insufficient blood flow.
I mean, how rare is it for someone in their 20s to have that happen to them?
I've been in this profession for 28 years, and I think she's probably my 4th person, maybe under the age of 40, who has actually suffered a stroke to cause their brain injury.
Doctors aren't sure what caused Jenna's stroke, and it's likely they never will. But what is clear is that the stroke occurred in the left side of her brain, the area that affects the right side of the body and controls speech. Walking, writing, speaking, nothing would be easy anymore.
Watching her try to walk the first few steps, I mean, she had no movement whatsoever. She wants to express herself, and she knows what she wants to say. She knows how to answer the questions. It's just when it goes from the brain to her hand or through her mouth, it's twisted.
Jenna's road to recovery meant a steady regimen of therapy in all forms, from occupational to physical to speech.
She was in daily for all 3 therapies for 6 months, and that was huge, huge, huge.
A few months after the stroke, in the early days of Jenna's speech therapy, the basics were still a struggle.
She really came in barely able to say words, repeat words, write words.
To help spark Jenna's speech, the family and Sanford Health speech therapist Linda Tyler turned to something familiar.
Her stepfather mentioned that she really liked the twins. And so I was just trying to find any way that would help her to get some speech out and be able to communicate as well. So we pulled out the twins roster and we just started going down through the names, and it just seemed like it was something that really motivated her. Okay, so let's practice our names.
Yeah! Hugh.
First name?
Phil. Hughes.
She was watching all the games at home. So she would come in, and that was a way she could communicate. She would write for me the scores, who won, maybe how many hits, or if somebody got a home run. So it was a way to make therapy a little more fun and enjoyable on a topic that she liked.
Ryan,
Eduardo
Escobar, Joe Mauer.
Jenna's knowledge of the roster would soon come in handy when the Twins' winter caravan made its annual stop in Sioux Falls.
When the caravan came this winter and Linda surprised her with that, I thought, oh, she's just going to love this, and she did. Oh, man.
Along with seeing Dick Bramer, Jack Morris, Brian Dunsing, and Brian Dozier from a distance like the rest of the 700 plus in attendance, Jenna and her family got to spend a few minutes backstage with the team, and it wasn't hard to see what the experience meant.
That was just perfect timing because she was maybe having a little bit of a low, and so it was just to be able to meet the twins, you could just tell she was so excited.
Just like her twins, Jenna's rebuilding project is still ongoing. Every day provides a challenge, but the progress she's made is easy to recognize.
Today we were working on her formulating sentences in spontaneous conversation. Before, she really could not get anything out. She just has really come a long ways.
And even though her stroke has changed so much in her life, Jenna remains the same person she's always been.
Jenna has not changed. If anything, she's more determined. I've never seen her happier, more relaxed. Very proud of her. Very proud of her.
Joined by Alex Heinert now, and you went to one of these therapy sessions with Jenna, and she's doing some hard work in these things, isn't she?
Yes, she is. I mean, this is a grueling process of having to relearn how to communicate, how to sound things out, how to walk. And one of the things that I learned over the course of my time doing this story, I found out we were born 2 days apart. Really? And so this really hit close to home. This is someone that worked in the same business that I did, was in television for a long time, had kind of the same crazy work habits as I did, and to see someone that's my age going through that, you know, if I had the same thing happen to me, I would want to respond just like she has. It's been really inspiring to see her go through that and become this person that has had to start from scratch and still be happy and be effective in life.
All right, and it's a little hard to call the Minnesota Twins inspiring at times right now, but this is very cool what they're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's such a neat thing. I mean, even though they've not been playing great on the field, this is still a great source of escape for her, of normalcy. This is something that she grew up with and really has a passion for baseball and just loves watching them play. And the cool thing about it is it's given her this extra motivation now. And everybody needs something in life, I think, to get excited about and to look forward to. And they've provided that for her. And the cool thing is our producer, Josh Muntz, helped her and her family get hooked up with the Twins organization. And she's going to get to go and be on the field later this summer. So pretty cool story.
All right, nice work, guys. Thanks, Al. Well, when we come back on Midco Sports Magazine, this guy will get you pumped up. An assistant wrestling coach at South Dakota State, working hard every day to get a shot at the Olympic Games in 2016. Well, thanks to Coach Reeder, thanks to Coach Bono, thanks to Megan and Jenna for sharing their stories this month. We'll see you next time on Midco Sports Magazine.
This has been Midco Sports Magazine, presented by Shields. Midco Sports Magazine on Midco Sports Network is presented by Shields.